Hi there, welcome to a Wine of the Day Extra. We're here drinking wine, but we're not actually going to talk about a specific wine. We're going to talk about a wine information piece of art, which is really, really cool. When I first saw this, I was just amazed at how much information was into this piece of art that we're talking about. I'm here with Tom Oldani, who kind of discovered the artist, had the piece sent to him. Just tell me how this piece of art, and I'm going to get into more detail as we go, but how this came to you.
It's really a strange story. I belong to a little club, a bunch of employees I worked with in Racine, and about a year and a half ago, went to one of our little meetings, and one of the guys goes, "Hey, Tom, I know you're into wine. I'm not. Belong to the Roma Lodge," and he goes to me, "John Geering, do you know him?" I said, "I know John Geering." He said, "Well, he gave me this beautiful wine poster. I don't want it. Here, take it." So I took it that night. It was, it was all rolled up, rubber band over it. Threw it in my car, came home. The next day, went out to the car and opened it up, and oh my God.
Very John Geering-like, too, just simple. John Geering, little side note here, he was my junior high school basketball coach. So I know John from back then, and he was always an eccentric, but he taught art.
Art for 25 years.
And he had some talent that it was like, why is he teaching a junior high school art class?
Right.
But John's talented. And I'm going to show you just a little glimpse of this poster, and we're going to show you other sections of it. But this is the jumbo size, and it's art, but it's information. There's just so many different factoids along this poster here. And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, this poster is worth 2,000 plus words, because there's more than 2,000 words and facts on this poster that deal with art.
Yes.
Or deal with wine, I should say.
Yes.
So it's an amazing little piece. There's more than 200 wine facts itself, more than 2,000 words, probably closer to 5,000 words on that poster. And there's information on the poster that's from conventional things that you might know about wine to just obscure, weird wine facts that will kind of shock you. It's one of those things that you can have in your home, in a business, on a wall, and every time you look at it, you're going to find something different and something new that's just unique and strange.
Yes, matter of fact, when I started reading the poster, the whole margin on the outside of the poster has to do with the health benefits of wine. And for me, it was just interesting, because when I think back 25, 30 years ago when I got into wine, some of the varietals I couldn't even pronounce. I didn't know where they came from. I didn't know what they meant. And this poster is Wine 101 as far as I'm concerned. Anything and everything, like Bob just said, about wine that you think you might know about and you don't know about is incorporated in this poster. It's just phenomenal.
Talking about wine varietals too, there's 32 red varietals mentioned on the poster, 30 white varietals mentioned on the poster. So if you think you just know about the Bordeaux 5, you're going to find out a lot more about other red wine varietals in this poster. But you're a wine fan. That's why you got excited about this.
Yes, I did.
I'm a wine fan. That's why I got excited about the poster as well. And anybody that's into wine itself, I think would just love to have this hanging around. But how did you get into wine? What prompted you to say, wine's my new passion?
Well, we got to go back about almost 30 years ago. Prior to me really getting involved in wine, I was more of a brandy drinker, old fashions, Manhattans. I liked a beer once in a while. I wasn't a big beer drinker. Then I got into wine. We went to a couple of little parties, and people introduced me to Merlot. And then they talked about a Pinot Noir, which I couldn't say. And one thing led to another. And then for my 50th birthday, and I'm 75 plus today, my wife surprised me and took me to the Wildesheim Winery up in Madison. Now, it's a different winery as far as what type of grapes they use to make wine. But that was my first experience going to a winery and learning about the history of the winery and grapes. And that was a gunshot for me to really get involved into wine.
It's kind of amazing, too. When you see where the grapes come from, you see the land that it comes from, you see the grapes on the vine, when you're drinking the wine, it makes it different. You and I were on a trip to Italy together.
Yes.
I had a trip, and you came along. We were in Tuscany, and where else did we go on that trip? I can't even remember.
It was all Tuscany. We stayed at a beautiful winery, restaurant. I think they also had a cooking school there, Robert.
Right.
And it was just phenomenal. And every day we ventured out to a different area of Tuscany, and we We enjoyed the wine, the food, and the culture. It was magnificent. It was wonderful.
I've done so many wine trips to Italy. I can't remember where we went on some, and who was with, but I know that was fun. We stayed at the villa in Tuscany.
Right.
Really, really cool. But you've also become a winery visitor aficionado. You visited several. You like to go to Napa a lot.
My wife and I have been going to California since 2003, just about every year, and we've settled in northern Sonoma, Dry Creek, Alexandra, Russian River Valley, small wineries that they make a limited amount of wines, certain wines, and we just love it. We just love it. We love the culture there, and people say, well, I don't like wine. Well, I tell people that don't like wine, go to a tasting. There is a wine for everyone. And Bob can get into more detail because based on where it's grown, the soil, if it's sandy, if it's clay, if it's on the hillside, if it's on the sunny side of the hill, there's all different features that go into that wine, that grape that is being grown.
Now, the poster, back to the poster a bit. What is the one thing that when you saw the poster and you read it, something that you just, was an eye-opener to you, something that was new that you didn't know about wine, about the industry?
Well, one of the things that really caught my eye was the facts, how healthy wine can be if you're consuming it properly. The health features of it are wonderful. But I think the other thing that got me was, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think China makes more wine than Germany. And that's amazing because Germany makes some of the best wines in the world, white wines in the world. And that blew my mind. Plus, the detail on the different varietals in the different countries. What are the leaders in the world as far as winemaking goes. I thought I knew a lot about wine, and I still feel I know a lot about wine, but this poster opened my eyes into many, many other areas about wine.
Yeah, John has a list of the top 10 wine-producing countries in the world, and China shows up number 9, and Germany shows up number 10, which
Right.
kind of shocks me. I thought Germany would be in the top 5,
Right.
if not in the top 8 or so, but that was just a kind of a shocker. A couple things that I learned from the poster that was just odd. Syrah is the word for wine in Turkey.
Yes.
Which what's Syrah? I'm thinking that's like Serape is what is Serape? It's a Mexican thing. But
Yeah.
it's the shawl, right?
Yeah,
It's the
I think
shawl
it is,
in
yes,
Mexico, but
yes.
for some reason that's wine in Turkey. Also, bark for corks. They harvest the barks and corks every 9 years, so they wait until that bark grows back, and it's like a 9-year cycle.
Right.
Before they harvest that again. Other interesting factoids that are just odd. Andy Warhol produced the design for the Mouton Rothschild label in 1975.
Wow.
And John Gehring lists 9 other celebrity labels that Mouton Rothschild hired
Right.
from 1945 to 2012, which I did not realize that Mouton Rothschild got into the artist label series for that amount of time.
I didn't know that either. I was very shocked.
And that's odd for a Bordeaux producer. That's old school. That old label is what they're all about, and they don't really change much. But they have an Andy Warhol label on a Mouton
Right.
Rothschild Bordeaux.
Right. It's
is just
very interesting.
Just kind of strange. So now, why we're doing this is we think that this poster belongs in your home,
Right.
in your business.
Correct.
If you're a restaurant, if you're a wine shop, if you sell anything that kind of relates to wine, I think it would be a great little wall hanging in your business. But even in your home, you've got a wall in your dining room or in your kitchen, even if you have an open kitchen concept.
Right.
This would be something that you'd have guests over and they'd be kind of talking about the picture. So how can these guys get this thing?
Well, right now I'm the marketing and sales person for John Geary, the artist. And what's going to happen here is we're creating this video today, and there'll be a link to reach out to me, and I will get back with you with all the information you need. I will tell you this. I've taken this poster to California. I've had it reviewed by different wineries. They love it. We've also done some marketing locally and in Milwaukee, and we have sold the poster. And everyone that has bought it and has seen it like Bob just said, I could probably name 10 different people that have it hanging up downstairs right next to their wine cellar, or in their bar, or in their dining room next to their wine chest with all their glasses and bottles of wine. So it's really an interesting piece. And the unique thing about it is John is a very detailed artist. This is a piece of art. It's just magnificent, magnificent.
Yeah, and the link below this video that you're watching, you'll be able to order it. And there's 3 different price points.
Yes.
And they're really affordable too. This is not an expensive poster at all.
Not an expensive poster.
It's not
at all.
framed, so you're gonna have to deal with the framing of that. And I recommend that you do have that framed. But going back to John, he put this thing together. He's had some success with it, surprising success. I don't think he
Yes.
realized that this
Right.
would have taken off like it did. So now he's creating. I just learned tonight he's creating a poster on pizza.
On pizza. And John does his research. He's very detailed. He personally told me the wine poster himself was over a 6-month research on wine. And he's a very detailed individual. He wants to do things correctly and right, and he does it in art.
We tell you how detailed he is, and you're not going to really understand that until you look at this poster. But awesome little information.
Yes.
I think this thing it blew me away when I first saw it. And I thank you, Tom, for coming by and talking about this thing.
Well, thank you, Robert.
And we're going to sell some posters here, I think.
I hope so.
But love to have you in the back sunroom here in the patio, in the wine room, I call this.
Okay.
But cheers and order the poster. I think you're going to love it.